Okay, top gloss and action. Hi there, welcome back to the channel. So, I'm very pro silver highlights after seeing how this works. It looks freaking fantastic. I don't know how well it's going to read on camera, but my daughter does not want, one of my daughters does not want this body to leave the house now because she thinks it looks so good. And I have to agree. I don't know if it's going to read, but just take a look at this, how well this ended up turning out. These silver highlights gave it kind of like a, almost like what you'd get out of a car finish. It added some complexity, added some gray. See if you can see these side pieces. The silver catching that side edge. Like I said, I doubt this is going to photograph or pick it up, but it looks fantastic. And this is without any top gloss yet. See how it really put a shine on it, put a real finish on it. That third coat in between with the steel wool. And then finally these amazing silver highlights to bring out the magic and add a little bit of depth to the color. So it's not just straight green anymore. It has like this extra thing going on. Like I said, like a car finish, multi-dimensional finish. So the other thing I wanted to address is making sure that you do your buffing between, your light buffing. This one, you almost couldn't wear the paint off, so I really went at it this time. Even with the silver highlights, they're all there, everything looks fantastic, and what it does is just smooths out and evens the finish. So you'll see little things that don't look quite right, just like swirl patterns or just something that's a little off. You go at it with the steel wool, and everything gets better. Once you've done the steel wool, once you've done all that, knocked off all the stuff, you just make sure it's really dry and clean, that there's no debris left behind, and then you're ready to go to the next step. And I really think that is a very important step that you don't want to forget about. So now I'm going to just do my little wipe down real quick, real light beeswax wipe down, just to make sure there's no debris that's going to get caught in the finish. And the other thing I was thinking about with this, the way it goes on thin on some parts, you could make a beautiful relic guitar. I was like thinking you could do like the Stevie Ray Vaughan thing where you have like a black finish, you put a black finish on, and then you just use steel wool to basically wear it down in all the spots where his was worn down. It would be a lot easier, I think, than paint. You wouldn't have to go at it with sanders and all that stuff. You could just, for starters, you could put it on thin in the areas that are worn out and just thicker in the spots where there's still paint. Depending on what era of his guitar you want to, you know, do replicate, or any guitar. Okay, so I think we're ready. The last lonely little straggler is the Age Top Gloss. And this is the last, there's a lot in here too, so I'm guessing we'll be able to get as many as 5 coats on here, which means like 10 days, because it has to dry for 2 days in between. So, like I said, this takes a long time, but it's really worth it, and you don't remember how long it took. I don't remember like worrying about how long this took. Now I have this, so you know it's worth it to me. If you order a guitar from a custom builder or something, it's going to take a long time, so it just takes a long time. Okay, so I already cut my 4-inch rag here. I've got my cleaned out jar top. I'm going to pour here's the top gloss. I'm going to pour it in. Just a little here. It's very dark. Looks like kind of like thin molasses. And it's going to be beautiful. I can already tell just looking at that. It has like an amber tone. And it's going to add even more complexity, not to overuse that word, but yeah. Take this off. Lost my other glove. I'll get a good amount of it on the rag, and then I'm just going to start rubbing it in. And so I always go in this circular pattern like they recommend. It's really, I can see that you want the color to thin out. And so that whole area I'm just now going to finish on the up. The whole area that I ragged in a circular pattern, I'll now finish on the up. And let's take a look at it. Wow, that looks so good. It's adding like a little bit of yellow complexity and green. And oh man, that's gonna look so good. More greens going in. And one of the things I learned last time, and after reviewing the instructions last night, it kind of stuck out, is you don't want to try to overcoat it, which will just mean more coats. But you want these to go on thin. And this has a very satisfying odor. It has the odor like you're doing some furniture work now. You're doing a finishing. Oh wow. It really is bringing some interesting like complexity to the color, like some browns and yellow. It's gonna look fantastic. It's probably photographing very sea coral and very like, I don't know, like Florida beach shop, but in reality when you get up close to it and you see it in person, it has so much color complexity and it has some deepness to it. It really looks fantastic. Oh wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow. That looks really good. Really, really good. Okay, so I'm going to continue to do this. And I don't know how much coverage I'll get on here. I can tell that a little seems to be going a long way. Putting like a little honey flavor on it. It's hard to really describe what it looks like in person, except that it just seems to accent the aging part of it that it talks about. It's almost like you're blowing some smoke on it at the club. It's going to give you about 10 years of smoke. It usually takes a long time to get that level of smoke. And this is going to be awesome. Okay, so I'm going to just keep wiping this on. I'll let it dry overnight, or I'll let it dry and cure for 48 hours. And then I will update you guys on the progress. I'll let you see the next step, and then we'll go from there. Thank you.